carefully placed here, so Detriment knows now's the time to move in. He's going to come in here and try to pick off this command center. He's, oh my god, it's at 500 health, 400 health, 300 health, and he pulls away, and now this SCV is going to come over there and repair it. So he does manage to save the orbital command. Probably could have killed it, but again, I don't mind that he pulls away. He did manage to do some damage because Kaze is, of course, having to spend minerals to repair that up, and he has delayed the expansion from landing. Better to do that damage and then leave than to lose all of your units attempting to do slightly more damage. So, very, very good play. We're actually seeing pretty solid play out of both players this game. I'm actually really happy. Raven just finally manages to wander close enough to that observer for Kaze to see it, and of course he takes it out immediately. And it looks like these Banshees going to come up here and take out this Stalker, and then probably take out that, yeah, finally taking that out. I really didn't need to send these guys all the way up over there. Could have probably just dealt with the Banshees, but that pylon is finally going to go down after hanging out there, and actually that only got used once or twice in this entire game, so not the end of all things. We see Cloak is finally about to finish for Kaze here for these Banshees, so we'll probably be seeing some Banshee harass very soon. But there is a pretty sizable force up here, and Detriment actually, now that he knows those Banshees are out there, he's decided he's going to drop down some cannons. I'm actually curious, yeah, he does have one watching the mineral line here. Nothing back here, but yeah, not really watching his mineral line back there, but he has been getting observers, so the detection is not as important. He does spot this observer here. Is he going to be able to kill it? Yes, he is. That scan came at just the right time. That poor observer was just walking across the street and all of a sudden got hit by a bus, or perhaps a Viking would be a better thing. So here comes a big fight moving in. He does not have any charge upgrade for those Zealots yet, and they are melting really, really quickly because there are a few of those Blue Flame Hellions in there. And the point defense drone completely shutting down those Stalkers. He is not able to do anything as long as those point defense drones are there. Honestly, he could probably move up there. I'm trying to find his, yeah, he has just barely not enough energy. He's got 91 on that Viking, or that Raven, and not close to enough on that one. He has enough energy for one more point defense drone. He could move up and do a little bit of a poke, but he just wants to hang out in the back here and keep Detriment contained, which is honestly really, really important at this point in the game. This Phoenix is coming over here, going to take a few hits and barely escape with its life. Thank God for shields. Kaze does now finally have this expansion up and running. This SCV is over here making sure that this missile turret keeps turning. I've never seen one of them stop, so probably not too concerned about that whole thing. More Banshees coming out. Lots more Banshees coming out. We have a Templar Archives, there it is, coming down for Detriment. Excuse me. So he wants to go, and we see Charge now coming up as well. So he really, really wants to get that really, really scary combination of a whole bunch of Zealots surrounding your army, followed by a giant Psionic Storm dropping directly on your face. He was going for something similar in the last game, but ended up winning before the Psionic Storm came into play. But we will probably... well, we'll hopefully at least be able to see him actually make some use of that this game, because Psionic Storm is fun to watch. These Vikings over here just making sure there's nothing crazy going on over there. Honestly, both players, it's pretty surprising. We're at the 18-minute mark, and both players still operating off of 2 bases. Normally you see more expansions coming out at this point, and it looks like Detriment might actually be thinking the same thing. He's going to take out these rocks here and potentially want to drop an expansion up here. This is a very, very easy to take third, and honestly not that hard to defend. You can just swing back and forth up here and just maintain your high ground advantage the whole time. Or perhaps he's just going to kill those rocks because he doesn't like rocks. We have this Phoenix over here now. It must have chased those Vikings away, which is weird because those Vikings would actually win. And yeah, both players just kind of sitting back. We've had kind of an action-packed game so far, by various standards. So they just want to sit back and macro up a little bit at this point and just produce as many units as they possibly can. We see Templar starting to come out now for Detriment here. The Templar Archives has just finished Storm and is now working on the Kadarin Amulet. which is one of those upgrades that seems kind of silly at the start of the game. Like your High Templar come out with 25 extra energy. Oh no. But it actually means that the Psionic Storm, they're actually able to use Psi Storm immediately as soon as they spawn in, which is really, really important. He's actually walling, is that all pylon? Yeah, walling in with 4 pylons up here. That's kind of a weird wall in. And the probe actually still just hanging out. Okay, I mean, he just really doesn't want Kaze to come up that way at all, I guess. A Warp Prism, and it's not loaded with anything. We see Warp Prisms from time to time when Protoss really just start to get jealous of the medevacs and decide they want to drop some stuff somewhere. But usually they have something in them when they go out, and then they, you know, like drop a couple of Immortals and then warp in some Zealots for backup or something. This Warp Prism just kind of heading around, probably wants to warp maybe some High Templar in the back here and get a Psi Storm or something in. And now Kaze taking out his rocks as well. But we have a big force up here, a whole lot of Zealots. That is a control group and a half worth of Zealots. I don't even want to try and do that math right now, but it's a lot. I have a barracks coming down from Kaze right up at the front here, and uh-oh. This Warp Prism is in the back. It has spawned in 6 Zealots and a High Templar. Starting to do some damage in the back here. Kaze is getting distracted. This is exactly what Detriment wanted. He got Kaze to move his entire army into the back of his base here so he can take this out, and at the same time he's going to move up in the front. He is taking out this barracks, so that's going nowhere. See you later. And now he's able to move in with all these Zealots, but unfortunately there are just so many Zealots, and with this ramp, this choke right here, those Zealots are not going to be able to get in and do the damage they need to. The Marines are completely just plowing through them. The cloak finishes. Oh, there goes a nice storm. That was a very well-placed storm. Another very well-placed storm, but unfortunately it's not quite enough at this point. There are so many Banshees and so many Blue Flame Hellions and so much stuff out of Kaze that he is just walking across the map now. These Banshees don't even care that these cannons are there. They're just going to shoot them until they're dead. Honestly, they're not even focus firing at this point. They're just shooting whatever they want. And the point defense drone goes down. Nothing out here can actually attack from Detriment. That point defense drone is just, oh, it's out of energy now. But, oh, nice storms doing some damage. But unfortunately, Banshees can move really, really fast. So, oh, he actually took a lot of damage from that last one. Didn't quite get out of the way. Trying to warp in an Archon here. But I don't think that's quite going to make it. And I'm not sure what the scan was for, but okay, he's apparently really wants to repair those Banshees. He's actually warped in mules to be able to do it. Kaze is very intent on getting this game won at this point. He knows he has a huge advantage. We've got more Marines streaming across the map at this point. These Vikings could honestly land and do some damage. But he knows he can push in here, and he is very much in a commanding lead. More storms going out. Ooh, nice feedbacks, doing tons of damage, but unfortunately, these have been cloaked for a long time, so there was not quite enough energy to be able to kill all of them. The only one that actually could have been killed probably is still cloaked. There's an Archon out, but that's going to melt in a hurry, and there's more and more Marines. We see even more of them now streaming across the map continually. This expansion over here is operational, but I don't really see much that Detriment can do at this point. And there's the GG. Entirely too many BB from Kaze. Either mistyping GG, or perhaps he is just affectionately calling Detriment baby. I'm going to go ahead and start that rumor. Maybe Kaze and Detriment are seeing each other. But anyway, entirely too many units out of Kaze for Detriment to be able to deal with. Very nice unit choice, unit placement, and I love the Raven against this Stalker heavy. Just the overall flow of the game from Kaze. He opened with the Blue Flame Hellions, forced Detriment into getting a whole bunch of Stalkers, and then said, okay, now that you've made a whole bunch of Stalkers, I'm going to make a Raven, and my one Raven is going to completely shut down every single one of your Stalkers. So this is going to go on to a Game 3 in this best of 3. We're going to be going into that right away, so I will see you guys there.